Now that is the good shit. From feathers ruffled, I have to go back and do it one more time. Feathers ruffled. How? How? It's perfect. We'll just leave it here. Oh, damn it. There we go. There we go. That's the good shit right there. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining me. Check this out. Tonight, I have AI Dungeon. I have retro space junk, including something related to UFOs, which we now have 100% confirmed, no argument, proof. Wait, no, we don't. Never mind, we don't. But it'll be fun anyway. It'll be fun. No terpenes, no UFOs. Vinny, it was one guy. You know what? Vinny, it was Japes. Vinny, it was not Japes. You know how it is. So listen, we're going to do that in a second, but I hope you're all doing okay. How's everyone doing? I see good. I see decent. Okay, that's good. Well, after all that other stuff, I have something called Meal Mates, which is the sequel to Meal Mate by Magic Dweedu. So I think that'll be fun. And of course, I have extra stuff too, if AI Dungeon doesn't go long enough. But I'm going to try to get the most out of this AI Dungeon update, which I think you'll enjoy. It's got a lot of really cool updates to make it work better. Like, the new AI is called Dragon. I'll tell you about it later, but essentially it works a lot better and it's a lot more coherent. But first, I have, for you, I present Retro Space Junk. This is my professional logo. I'll tell you what this is. This is a series of, I guess, stuff from DOS to Windows that it just is like shit. I want to thank Sphinx for helping me out with this stuff. I had a little bit of a technical issue where I couldn't get it working, but I got it. So thank you, Sphinx. And as always, thanks, Jackal, and everybody from the vetting team for helping out with Sunday Stream. But yeah, this is something that, you know, with the UFO stuff going on, I was like, oh yeah, that's perfect. Even if there's no UFO stuff going on, which, let's be honest, what the fuck is even happening? Hopefully one day we'll get confirmation that aliens are real and are in all of us. But that's not really happening. So instead, I will show you a game here called Sightings. Disk may have errors on it. Don't fix it. It's fine. It's a virtual box. Don't worry about it. So I'll show you. The truth is out there. If anyone remembers the show Sightings, this is apparently a game or some kind of CD-ROM nonsense that has connections to that show. What is this? Wow, we did it. This is all we had to do? Just this? We're in Area 51. Wow. We can almost make it out. It looks like a Rob the Robot accessory. It's tiny. Sightings UFOpedia. I wonder if the people from Sightings
Sightings UFOpedia. I'm Tim White.
got to clap a little bit.
Together, we're going to discover more about the intriguing world of UFOs. To begin, make a selection from this menu.
All right. So this show was something that I used to watch a little bit, and it kind of was just sightings. So what the hell could this even be? Government, UFOs. Is the government going to shut down my stream if I click on some of this stuff, chat?
There are many facets to the UFO phenomenon. The days when UFOs simply meant flying saucers are long gone. Choose a subject to discover more.
Okay. Well, now we have definitive proof on a CD-ROM from 1995 to 8. Let's see. Overview.
Primitive man was often frightened by
This is
things he
before the
didn't
show.
Understand. When this happened, the wise men told him that this was the work of the gods, or devils, of mystery or magic, which could not be questioned, just accepted. Since the advent of science, our understanding has increased. In our greater knowledge of the physical world, we have become more skeptical about the supernatural. Seen from today's perspective, what the ancients saw as gods, some believe may have been aliens.
Now, where's the dude with the hair who's going to turn into a bird?
It was during World War II, when Allied aircraft were on night bombing raids, that pilots began reporting strange sightings, small balls of light which seemed to circle around their aircraft. They called them Foo Fighters. However, the code of the day put these reports down to mass hysteria. The first post-war sighting of UFOs was in 1947, when Kenneth Arnold saw a squadron of 9 crescent-shaped craft flying in line at about 9,000 feet above.
Wow.
He estimated their speed to be about 1,700 miles per hour, faster than any known manned aircraft of the time. Arnold was a practical, unemotional man, not in the habit of fantasizing. He himself described the furor of other sightings, which started after his report became known, as a lot of foolishness. But from 1947 onwards,
We're gonna skip around a little bit.
after the release of science fiction movies in the 1950s,
Oh, the UFO
UFOs were reported more often.
hysteria.
The Korean War caused a tremendous increase in military activity, which triggered a whole lot of reports of unusual
Yeah, it's just
aerial
it's a
activity.
PowerPoint presentation,
The
I
U.S.
guess.
Navy even developed their own flying saucer, the Navy Flounder, which didn't work.
It floundered.
This neatly helped them to discredit the flying saucer myth.
Well, I find this stuff interesting.
In the 1960s, the public mind
Look at that!
a hysterical attitude
Oh
toward
my God.
UFOs. The idea of humanoid aliens abducting humans for experimentation began to take hold.
Hang on. This man, are you a UFO?
UFOs were taken much more seriously in the 1970s, when serious academics began systematic research both to prove and disprove the truth of the extraterrestrial hypotheses.
Bob Lazar?
In the 1980s, it was discovered that the documents concerning the Roswell incident had all disappeared. The general view was that the U.S. government had been covering up and creating hoaxes around the subject to discredit the believers.
Oh,
Whatever their
shit.
intention,
What about the Men in
result
Black?
was that the government's own
Will Smith,
credibility was
Tommy Lee
damaged.
Jones.
The mysterious Area 51, whose very existence is denied by the government, has attracted extra attention.
And the 90s.
The 1990s saw a rise in the number of mass sightings, when objects have been seen by scores of people simultaneously. And a new kind of UFO was spotted, a triangular shape. The steady advance of our technology has meant that it's possible to verify photography and other records much more precisely,
Except...
to reject the bogus and confirm the genuine.
Well, hang on a minute. Except
Our
that
attitude
now
has become a
every-
strange mixture.
everyone has
Harder
phones.
to fool, but willing to believe.
And everyone has Photoshop and After Effects. So it's not quite as easy of a thing to like First of all, I want to believe, I love UFO shit, but I do acknowledge that, like, there's a lot of, like, bullshit, and it's really hard to discern the actual unidentified flying objects. But when you have stuff that, like, could be a plane, helicopter, whatever, swamp gas from Venus's ass, but when you have, like, a whole generation of people with phones that have cameras, we should be having UFO videos every day. And then if we do, they're usually fake. So I think,
Have UFOs
oh my
been around since
God.
the beginning of time? For an insight into the history and traditions surrounding UFOs, select any category.
Is this a UFO? You have to toss me.
As with aliens, the descriptions of fairies differ widely. They vary in size from 3 to 4 feet tall, down to a few inches, and clothing varies according to the tradition of the country where the fairies are seen. You don't often hear of a leprechaun wearing anything but green. Some fairies have the ability to grow smaller or larger, but they're nearly always the little people in popular folklore.
Is this people in chat don't know if this is real or a shitpost? That's a weird thing. But seriously, Gimli and Lady Galadriel from Lord of the Rings, I didn't think were UFOs, but now I'm thinking real different. In what?
In today's enlightened times, we've moved beyond fairies and goblins as a way of explaining the unexplained. When we see things we don't understand,
I believe in goblins.
We go first to the extraterrestrial. Is there a new technology beyond our understanding? It must be from outer
Look at that!
space.
Look at that crusty alien! Wow, that is a crusty alien.
There is, however, an element of wish fulfillment in some of the stories. Some
Oh my
traditions
God.
tell of incubi and succubi, male and female spirits whose existence depends on sexual relations with human partners.
Wait, what?
Even these have their echoes in the UFO reports.
Why was this included
Little
on the
African
CD-ROM?
claimed to have been abducted from El Banco in Colombia and taken on board a spaceship where he had sex with a female alien.
The fuck?
The same thing was claimed by Antonio Villas-Boas in 1957. The victims of alien abductions have scars on their bodies, similar to ones spoken of in fairy stories.
But it's like showing me a Star Wars creature. Like, it's like a mix of Watto and the Geonosians. Like, what?
The fairy stories of bygone days were told around the fireside on dark nights, and the myths acquired a reality in our subconscious. But could it be possible that the stories our ancestors told their children had their roots in actual close encounters with aliens? Many of today's incidents involving aliens had their pre-echoes in the stories of the past.
I'm learning so much.
There are many
fast.
stories told of mortals being spirited away by fairies to return many years later. Many of the close encounters of the fourth kind involve a loss of time, a missing period in the life of the abductee. Isn't that exactly paralleled by the classic fairy abduction? Celtic myth abounds with stories of immortals who
There's
choose
more.
to sleep with humans to improve the fairy bloodline.
And this is why
There are
people don't
stories, too,
believe
of
any of the
changeling
stories.
babies, dwarf or misshapen children who are left in exchange for healthy human young.
Even the ones that are like, wait a minute, that's interesting. What is that all about? Like, why? What is that story? I don't know how to explain that. And it's like, yeah, you show them this CD-ROM. Everyone had this CD-ROM, right? I get it. No, I don't want to quit. I need to know about Gimli. Tell me more about Gimli. Where am I going? How do I go back? Ignore. We don't worry about that. Types of UFOs.
Flies,
I'm not going to go through
and
this
you
whole
don't
thing,
know
but
what
we'll
it
check out a little
is,
bit more.
It's an unidentified flying object. This doesn't necessarily mean it comes from outer space or a parallel universe. It could be just that you can't explain it.
Okay. Until, of course, someone goes on record saying that it is 100% alien, like Rem
MUFON
Lazar.
has produced a list of points of identification, but since new shapes are often reported, there may be more. Frequently observed shapes include triangle, cigar, cylindrical, rocket or bullet, boomerang,
Bullet, boomerang.
mantle or
Oh, okay,
bird
good.
shape,
What do we have here?
spherical, flat bottom,
Oh.
cone top,
Flat bottom girls, you make
Lens
the
shape.
rockin' world go round.
lens and dome, flat disc,
Flat
light
disc.
patterns.
Hello, Mario.
Organizations such as MUFON have produced guidelines for investigators. So the descriptions of sightings are consistent.
Circle.
These concentrate
Triangle.
on shape,
Devo
surface,
hat.
structural features, apparent size,
Turd.
actual size, prominent colors, exterior light characteristics, emission, and sound.
Crop circles, sightings. Let's do sightings.
To find out about the different types of sightings, many witnesses have produced photographs.
Unknown. Smear of light. Now, I have a folder of things from... I like to believe in UFOs, and I clearly am open-minded about the subject, but I have a folder of things that someone made for me from Gambreeder that looks just like this. So this one I call the hanger. I call this one the street lamp. That's the helicopter, the smudged helicopter. Okay. That's a good one. Massachusetts, too. I feel so furnished. Oh, home
Video
videos, chat.
evidence.
I probably have seen all of these in some documentary or another. Wait. What are those? Oh, those are helicopters. Oh, okay. I've seen this one. This one, I think they zoom out, and there's like 50 of them. Or not. Oh God. Oh God. It was a firefly. Even being open-minded, like I have a video, I showed it maybe a year ago. It was like a bunch of weird, like bright balls in the sky. Does anyone remember that? When I had my very own UFO video, my very own sighting? That was probably just birthday balloons. Well, regardless, I think this stuff is very interesting. I always like going through... I feel like Dan Aykroyd going through his files. You know? Oh.
Hynek provided us with a system by which to classify the numerous different sightings. Pick any category to find out more.
Okay.
A close encounter of the second kind, or a CE2, is classified as one in which the environment or people in the area are affected in some way by the alien presence. These effects can include tracks caused by landings, crop circles, mutilations, and other physical effects on the landscape or the body. CE2
What am I
also
looking at?
includes
What am I
events where
looking
the
at?
operation of vehicles, machines, and aircraft.
Why is the car getting smudged? What is
I
that?
kept screaming for Betty to get back in the car. So finally she come to get back in the car, and when she caught hold of that handle,
Massaging
it
the
burned
elderly
her ring
in space.
into her finger. That car was that hot. My eyes were burned so till they swelled till I couldn't hardly see. I couldn't see how to read or watch TV or do nothing. And every time I'd get out in the sun, it'd be big blisters, and I had sores all over my arms. After this happened to me, well, I couldn't work. I didn't have no friends to talk to.
So that's
So
why
it just
when
made
people
me
ask me
like
about UFOs, I do believe some of these people believe they've been abducted. Like, I don't know if any of this shit has any kind of real world, truth, maybe a night terror. I don't know. There's probably a lot of people who have better explanations than I do, but that lady seemed genuinely sad. And there are people who have come forward about their abductions and UFO encounters that didn't make a book and lives didn't get better. But I guess some people are just fucking liars. I don't know.
A close encounter of the second.
This one. I want to see
To
this.
be
This is the
classified
Spielberg
as a
movie.
close encounter of the third kind, an incident has to involve alien life forms appearing in or nearby a UFO sighting. Ever since the case reported by Betty and Barney Hill in 1961, there have been many accounts of aliens
Is that a
observed
reptile? Oh, it's a
inside
green.
or around UFOs. People also recounted experiencing a gap in time. Most of the incidents took place after dark, and the aliens seen were mostly humanoid. Although, as more reports came in, the variety of alien life forms
That one's creepy.
seemed to increase.
I don't like that one. It was veiny. So someone said, why is the video in this little circle? So they could fit more videos on a CD-ROM. So I did not like that alien at all. I want to see what CE5 is.
In recent years, scientists have added a new classification to the original CE1 through 4. The new name, CE5, is given to events where humans are actively communicating with aliens by means of light and sound. And in these encounters, it's the humans who initiate the contact, rather than being just passive witnesses.
Oh.
The different methods of initiating
You
a
can do that?
CE5 include using sound, which are at this point we're using anomalous sounds that were recorded inside of crop circles in England. We use light. When we go out into the field, we go with 500,000 candle power halogen lights that are portable.
At approximately 12:20 a.m., Chris Mansell was banging on my window, and I opened the door and I said, "What is wrong?" And he said, "There is a spaceship coming right through the bloody field." And at this point, we were able to extricate one of these high-powered lights, and we began to signal to it. So I took the light and I hit it twice with this very high-powered light, 2 flashes, and paused.
To my ultimate surprise, it actually flashed back. And he did it again, and it flashed back again. It was just amazing. I mean, uncanny, really.
All right, that's enough of this. It was probably a fairy. It was probably a goblin. Don't immediately go to aliens and UFOs when it could easily be goblins and fairies. Please. Please.
Hoaxers have affected the progress of research into genuine UFO phenomena. For an insight into the methods and motives of hoaxers, select an option.
I want to see this.
As if the investigation of UFOs wasn't difficult enough, the whole history of ufology has been clouded by the
Hoaxers.
appearance of hoaxes. For every sighting which has survived the test of authenticity, there are at least 10 fakes, cooked up to fool the public and the experts. Photographs are the easiest to fake. Simple photomontage techniques can place an object against a background to suggest that it was flying or floating where no object should have been. You get a friend to toss a frisbee into your landscape, press the shutter, and
Yep.
hey, presto, a flying saucer.
Yep, ufology. That's a word.
One hoaxer used a button and a cotton reel to create a vehicle, which looked real enough at first glance. Another photomontage used an image painted on a photographed background, which was then re-photographed. Some hoaxers paste a 2-dimensional drawing of a flying saucer onto
This
the
is as
window,
loud as I can make this, by the way.
photograph that, so that the object appears to float in space.
That is
Now that
such a
there's
real
large
picture.
body of well-documented sightings available, the hoaxers have a much better archive on which to base their fakes.
That picture was shocking, the Roswell one.
There's a large archive of documented evidence with which to compare new material. When a new UFO photograph or video surfaces, it's easy to tell whether or not the image is genuine.
I can't tell if that's a real
Information
UFO. Is that a real
technology
UFO?
can analyze the image to check for inconsistencies in size, focus, and distance from the camera. Under enlargement, it's possible to look for differences in grain, and relatively higher definition of part of the image, which is what you get if something has been pasted onto a different background. You
Well,
can
now
even
we've got
tell if the light
computers.
falling on the flying saucer is coming from a different direction from the light on the background. Video evidence is harder to hoax, and the hoax is
Not
harder
these
to
days.
detect. All the circumstances surrounding the Canadian hoax, which Bob Oshler investigated, seemed authentic. What gave the perpetrators away was the production of documents which were supposed to originate from the Canadian government. They were clearly forgeries, and this discredits the video itself.
What?
The documents are purported to be President National Defense
Sorry.
Canadian military documents. But
The
just a
other
quick
thing
read
I
of them
had
shows
to
that they're
stream
obviously falsified.
accidentally activated
See
itself.
statements like insatiable sex drive, their women prefer human partners.
What?
Blonde types infiltrate the artistic centers of Canada. It appears they need artists to get the message out. These obviously such hokey documents that there's no doubt that these are falsified.
The difference between possibly genuine and obviously hoaxed crop circles is easy to detect. The crops in the more believable ones keep growing because they're only bent over. When hoaxers make
bent
crop
over?
circles, they tend to damage
Oh,
the
bent
crop
bent
while
over.
they're doing it, which destroys it. The test employed in most cases of suspected hoaxes is the polygraph, but these are of limited value and are relatively easy to deceive. They're a blunt-edged weapon because they can't separate people who have hoaxed from people who really believe what they saw, even if it was a hoax.
See? See, we're learning so much. This, to be fair, this is a good introduction to the whole topic, whether or not it's hilarious. I guess I was going to say, if I had this when I was a kid, I would have enjoyed it.
From the end of World War II. But there is a body of evidence to support the idea that Earth has been visited not just in the 20th century, but time and again for thousands, possibly millions of years. Such objects that seem to be misplaced in time are called OOPArts, or out-of-place artifacts.
Oop parts?
There have been many such objects. An Aztec trinket shaped like a modern jet, or the humanoid footprints in rocks 3.5 million years old.
Okay. But click on the brain.
Ufologists believe that when people have been
Sorry,
abducted
that's a
by
great
aliens,
headline.
They have small devices implanted in their bodies, either to monitor their position so that they can be easily abducted again, or to control their behavior in some way. Abductees tell of having devices inserted into their noses or ears. They speak of having heightened extrasensory powers after their return.
Butt
So
plug
perhaps
car?
the
No, that wasn't
devices
that.
improve their faculties. In most cases, however, it's important.
Well, I am shocked by how how hokey this game is, and also
Aliens can make their presence felt in many different ways, ranging from the benign to the gruesome. Choose any category to find out more.
how... Wait. Now, we'll click government later, but I need to see what this is.
Since the dawn of time, man has looked up at the stars and pondered their mystery. What could be out there? In the 16th century, the astronomer Copernicus advanced the exciting new theory that the sun was the center of the solar system. Soon, people began to consider whether there was life on other planets. Then, in the 19th century, an Italian astronomer, Giovanni Schiaparelli, claimed to have observed a network of canali, or channels, on nearby planet Mars. The astronomer Percival Lowell mistranslated the word as canals and spent years mapping these images onto globes. Could this be the evidence of life everyone was waiting for? But was Schiaparelli right? We had to wait until 1976 for close-up evidence. The Viking Mars landings were able to analyze rock samples which provided some answers. Scientists tell us that there are 3 requirements for life, similar to ours: water, the right kind of atmosphere, and a temperature to support chemical
And
reactions.
ants. So they found a cannoli
Even
on
Earth,
Mars.
There are organisms existing in conditions which would be fatal to you or me. Arid deserts can support life, as can near-boiling geysers.
I found a
In a
cannoli on
mixture of
Mars.
water vapor, carbon
There's no
and
way you
other
can make a
chemicals,
cannoli on Mars
Stanley
without the
Miller
alien
created
life.
A miniature electrical storm. In less than a week, 2 of the amino acids essential for life appeared in his primordial soup.
I want to see. Hang on,
There's
it's
certainly
getting
no lack
good.
of variety
It's getting
in
good.
the
Hang
types
on.
of alien sightings reported on Earth. Throughout the 20th century, since the works of writers like Jules Verne and H.G. Wells, people have been reporting all kinds of creatures. After analyzing accounts from all over the world, we have compiled a detailed profile of the Greys. The Greys are humanoid, but they look less like humans than the men in black or Nordics. They have been the most commonly cited alien types since the 1960s.
I thought they were smoother than this.
They've been featured in the media and movies, and since the coverage given to the Roswell Gray case, people have tended to disbelieve descriptions of other aliens.
Show me the video.
However, there's no shortage of detail on the Greys. They come in 2 sizes, small and large. The small ones are between 4 and 5 feet, and the large are 6 to 7 feet tall. They all have gray skin. They have very large eyes with no whites, eyelids, eyelashes,
That's
or
the smooth
eyebrows.
gray that I know.
Their eyes are believed
It
to
looks like
exert
kinda more
a powerful
orange.
hypnotic influence over the people who meet their gaze. They are hairless
They're just
and have
animes.
very large heads for their body
Alien
size.
anime.
This has led to speculation that they must have a very high IQ, but they have minimal facial features.
Very high IQ. They take IQ tests.
They have thin arms and legs, without apparent muscle or bone structure.
They look like
They
frog
have
people.
fingers, but the number reported varies between 3 and 6. They have no hips, waists, breasts, nipples, buttocks, rectum, or apparent genitals.
What the fuck?
One theory suggests that they are sterile. Are they friendly? We just don't know. But however benign their intentions may be, they've certainly scared the people who claim they've been abducted by them. Although the Greys are still sighted more often than any other type of alien, such sightings are reducing in number now. Ufologists believe that this is because the Greys now know enough about us, so they don't need to study us so closely.
Yeah, they don't need to
Or
put
maybe they're
probes up
backing
our
off
rectum anymore, I
now
guess.
that we're getting curious about them.
Thank God.
After analyzing
Is there anything else to do here? Like maybe like it's click the hidden object? No, never mind. Humanoid?
what sort of creatures could they be? These entities that visit us from distant
Sorry, I
stars.
have to see this chat.
Many
This is
of the
too good.
witnesses of alien sightings have described a humanoid appearance. 2 arms, 2 legs, a head, just like us. The aliens may be choosing their crews only from humanoid races, so that they'll be more acceptable here. Humanoid means friend, bug-eyed monster, foe. The humanoid but sinister
David Byrne
men
with
in black
sunglasses.
are described in dozens of witness
It's his
statements.
next talking heads
They are
phase.
usually associated with sightings of unmarked black helicopters and display non-human characteristics. They dress in dark suits. They have oriental, hairless features, and they often
Yeah,
wear
XCOM.
lipstick.
Basically XCOM.
They have been seen driving large black cars and often say that they are from government or UFO agencies. Generally speaking, they don't seem very neighborly. They have sometimes tried to silence witnesses and their families with threats, but they've never been known to do what they threaten. The Nordics were sighted quite often in the 1950s. The theory is that they are an alien race which can live amongst humans undetected. Some abductees claim to have had sex with Nordics on board their space vehicles. Nordics are human in appearance.
How many times have we heard the
although
word
slightly
sex?
larger than average, being from 5 feet 8 inches to 6 feet 5 inches tall. They are muscular and attractive.
Yes,
with
you
blonde hair
are.
and blue eyes.
Yes, you
are.
are.
50s Hollywood movie star. The Nordics are sometimes reported as being in league with the Greys, but have the reputation of being well disposed towards humans. Some people say that they are guardians of the Earth. watch over it.
I've heard that before in my UFO research. The music. Oh, the music! Someone had to compose music for the Men in Black. Darn it. This one... Some humanoid aliens, complete with dildonics all around their head. This is just like a 50s sci-fi movie now. And this looks like something I've streamed on Sunday. That's almost... that's almost Vine scum. Animal?
A very unearthly type of alien is described in some reports.
I'm sorry, this is
These
too
are
good, chat. I
animalians,
can't stop.
And their
I can't stop
descriptions
this.
vary widely. One type are the reptilians, or draconians, as they're sometimes called. They are humanoid in shape, but the resemblance is only superficial. They're regarded as a leader race and have dominion over the Greys. Some investigators say that the reptilians are soulless and enemies of mankind.
Ah. See, now we're talking about the reptilians,
have a
chat.
variety of characteristics and may even be able to adapt, chameleon-like, to their environment.
And that's why
Gray in color. Their height ranges from 3 to 5 feet, and they often have long arms with claw-like fingers.
the fuck is this?
Another animalian form,
What the
but
fuck
one
is
not
this?
often reported, is the Sasquatch. They are large, hairy humanoids, like the Sasquatch or Yeti, and are said to be possibly the result of genetic experimentation. As with all these, we have to rely on the credibility of witnesses.
Kind of
which
looks
is
like
rarely supported by objective
looks like
evidence.
old Marlon Brando. I want to work that off. I can't do a Marlon Brando impression, but it. So we'll whatever I need to find out with
A whole group of aliens defy
no
the descriptions
nondescript.
used in other types. They include robot types and those that can only be
Roberts.
described as exotic. The sightings are usually weird and cannot be explained, and the witnesses are quite often children. Children have vivid imaginations, but an eye for detail, and accept without question the evidence of their eyes.
Or they watch sci-fi
Since the
films.
features differ virtually from case to case, it's hard to form a precise description. Height and width vary from...
Oh, they reused the Men in Black music. That's not cool. It's jelly? Brain? I haven't even... listen, I was a UFO buff for a while. I haven't even fucking heard of the brain type.
Or close encounters of the fourth kind have been reported
The
worldwide.
Betty Barney Hill one is actually a
What
really
is the
interesting
reason for
case.
this
I'd
phenomenon,
recommend looking into
and
that
what
one if you have any
techniques
interest
do
in the topic.
investigators use?
One of the
Select a
first
category
major
to find
ones.
out. It was a bitterly cold day in November 1976. Location, Arizona's Apache Sitgreaves National Forest. With a crew of 6 others,
GoldenEye music.
Travis Walton was clearing brushwood. They'd been working hard all day, and at 6 p.m., when it was time to go home, 22-year-old Travis and the others piled into their pickup and started down the track. They were all looking forward to warmth and food. For sure, they weren't expecting what happened next.
As we're coming up this road here, we could kind of see a light filtering through the trees. My first reflex was that this thing was just going to take right off, that we were just going to get a glimpse of this thing. So just as soon as it stopped, I threw open the door and I started running towards it.
PowerPoint.
And I realized, this ain't going anywhere. I started to think twice.
All right. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more to this than I thought there was. There's also the mutilation. We're not going to go into the mutilation. Why don't we go into exit application? No, we got one more, chat. Now this is where the government cuts the stream. This is where Rem Lazar himself shuts me down.
Do governments know far more about UFOs than they choose to disclose? Select any category to reveal more. In dealing with UFOs, governments find
cigarette-smoking man.
catch-22
Fox
situation.
Mulder.
Their
UFOs.
job is to
Are you a
govern,
real cat?
to control, and to direct. To do this, they must impose rules of secrecy to keep information under wraps. But human nature is such that people assume there's a conspiracy of silence, that things are being covered up. There's something to hide, they say, something which people ought to know for their own safety. In this way, governments all over the world have unintentionally fanned the flames of public curiosity about UFOs, instead of stamping out the fire. The history of the UFO era is marked with frequent inquiries, studies, and reports commissioned by the U.S. government.
All right, you get the idea. There's secret bases. This is... what? Oh. Wow, that production value is really, really showing now. Oh, they're taking us through the base. This is very confusing. Finally, we can see. Where's the Ark of the Covenant and the Holy Grail? The Crystal Skull. The Dildonic device of Horatio Sands. Is there, like, anything to do here? Oh. I'm in.
It's hard to imagine a government without secrets. Knowledge is power, and denial of knowledge to others is control. This is especially true in relation to UFOs.
Gotta click on Area 51.
When the stories circulating touch on genuinely secret areas, the government reacts even more extremely. Their existence is denied, and they don't appear on any maps. The secret research facility in Nevada, known as Area 51, call sign Dreamland, covers well over 6,000 square miles. And as the authorities are buying more and more land around it, it's getting bigger. For many years,
Just like
Area
the
51
Naruto runners.
has been the nursery for a whole range of classified projects, such as spy planes, strategic defense initiatives, and stealth. Its security is very tight, and the people who work there have to accept a set of iron-hard rules.
All right, we're just about done with this game.
Some
Alien
people
technology.
believe that the authorities are collaborating with extraterrestrials. Most people, when they hear the letters UFO, immediately think of flying saucers.
Reverse engineered
That's
by
the
Bob
phrase
himself.
which stuck in the public mind over the years, ever since Kenneth Arnold's description of the skimming flight of his sighting over Washington State in 1947. But well before UFO awareness took off, humans here on Earth were developing disc-shaped aircraft. It started in Nazi Germany during World War II. The Luftwaffe was finding it difficult to fly because Allied bombing raids left them without runways. That was when their thoughts turned to the idea of vertical takeoff aircraft. A designer named Richard Mita developed a series of experimental planes called Fireball and Ball Lightning, which were disc-shaped vertical takeoff craft. After the war, Dr. Mita took his designs to Canada,
Dr. Meathead,
where he worked for the AV Aircraft Company. They developed an airplane called the Avro car, also disc-shaped, which was not very successful. Meanwhile, the
we have
US
no success with anything disc-related, huh?
Saucers, the most secret of which was Project Silverbug. This was classified for 40 years and included aircraft with a very high performance specification, 2,300 miles per hour, with a ceiling of 80,000 feet.
Well, I think you got the idea. You know, there's cover-ups.
There have been many alleged cover-ups. Is important in... For 50 years, the Roswell story has been a source of controversy.
Stanton Friedman?
I think after all these years of looking into this, that what really happened was that two saucers were winging their way along in New Mexico, ran into some kind of a problem, maybe a radar beam, maybe a lightning bolt, something.
You get the idea. Okay, we're good here. We're good here. This is it's got a lot of different things. There's the whole thing, even if it is funny and hilarious. This is stuff that I find interesting or found interesting. Now I don't really delve into it too much unless Dan Aykroyd goes on a 20-minute tangent. It's crusty as fuck, but I'd like to let you know that you're all experts on UFOs now. You know it. You know all your stuff. You're all would-be Fox Mulders. And an error has occurred. Look at that. Oh, God. Chat, do you think it's a coincidence? Task. No coincidence here, chat. So that was a lot more than I expected to play of that, but these next ones I probably won't be spending a lot of time playing because they are kind of shit. I'll give you an example. I'm going to play a game called Abyss Incident at Europa from 1998.
Gentlemen, a Code 1 situation is developed on our deep core undersea observation platform.
You know the movie The Abyss?
We made initial contact with non-terrestrial intelligence in the Cayman Trench 6 years ago. Deep core was redesigned to facilitate the exchange of ideas and technology between our two species. All communications from Deep Core ceased over 12 hours ago. To complicate matters, we received an urgent NTI message from the Ark itself. They say they want the finders. We believe they were referring to two members of the Deep Core work crew that first contacted them.
Look at this. Production value.
These finders are two civilians. Bud Brigman, tool pusher in charge of Deep Core operations, and his wife Lindsay, designer of the Deep Core facility.
Yeah, it's Ed Harris.
After receiving the message from the NTIs, we decided to send Lieutenant J.G. Dome along with the Brigmans for immediate reconnaissance.
It's very smooth, Ed Harris. Gonna like Mr. Clean up those aliens. How many rats were killed in the making of this? At least a couple hundred, probably.
Commencing docking procedure.
Yeah, so, I don't want to spoil the movie The Abyss, but this does belong in this segment.
With Bud and Lindsay remaining aboard Cab 5, Lieutenant Dome entered Deep Core. He was incapacitated by something that has yet to be identified.
God.
What was that?
I know it's 1998,
but one of us needs to check it out.
Holy shit. Some strange art style choices here. It's either a comic book or it's really like focused on like semi-realistic 3D for the time. But anyway, The Abyss is a good movie. Now again, I want you to be aware that Metal Gear Solid and Ocarina of Time were out, and Half-Life was also out in 1998. So just be aware of that. God bless. I guess The Abyss just didn't have,
Sure glad I don't have to spend the next 8 hours in here.
Yeah, but I still don't know if I totally
the budget for
trust
this.
real-time decompression.
We just witnessed it ourselves coming down in Cab 5.
Like, did the studio just say, you know what, The Abyss didn't do so well on the box office? We're not going to give you a budget for a good video game. Sorry. Screen's really small. I mean, even in 1998, like, the amount of other stuff, like, you got Chex Quests. I don't know if there's a way to look down. There's no mouse look, by the way. There's just an intersecting wall here. I guess that's fine. Open. Ugh. Ugh. Chat, I don't know how to play this game. Special effects on. High res. Well, this is the high resolution mode, everybody. You're witnessing the future. Shark attack pinball. I got a screwdriver. I kind of hate to do it, but, like, we're never even gonna get into the meat and potatoes of this game. Or the shrimp and lobster of it. We're never gonna be able to see what this game is. Well, the sound effects are okay, I guess. Some of the sprite work is okay. Okay! What the fuck is this? I'm stuck. Work. Use the thing. Nope, can't use it. Elevator arrives. It's a little spooky, but it's mostly just crusty. I don't remember Ed Harris being like an action hero. I mean, he kinda was. But in the movie The Abyss, they were just like... You know, there was some survival stuff. There was some spook. Definitely. Eh. What's what's the dude's name from Resident Evil 2? Birkin? Someone in chat just wrote J.O. Arm. Good enough. I need no more than that. So this next one is a Star Trek game. Star Trek Deep Space Nine. A series that is exceptionally good, but didn't really get very many good things associated with it. So the budget here probably wasn't all that high either. But there it is, Crust Space Nine. So you get to be Captain Sisko, Major Kira, or Worf. Imagine how everyone else must feel on the cast. That Worf, who came in like Season 4, gets one of the top billings, I gotta go, Worf. I'm sorry.
First officer's log, stardate 51957.
I guess Michael Dorn had nothing else to do.
We have received a garbled distress call from the Bajoran science vessel Kiel Tool, which was testing a new means of harnessing power from the tachyon eddies in the Denorius belt.
I understood none of that.
The Bajoran vessel has sustained heavy damage and its microfusion reactor is destabilizing.
Shields up, yellow alert.
Yeah.
Mr. Worf, does that look like an accident?
Avery Brooks wanted nothing to do with this game.
Its hull was breached from the outside. It was attacked.
Captain, I'm picking up faint life signs aboard the Bajoran ship, but they aren't answering our hails.
This is like Half-Life
O'Brien,
movements.
Start beaming the survivors to sick
Mouth
bay.
movements.
We can't get a transporter lock, sir. Too much interference from the tachyon particles in the belt and
Lighting.
Eichner radiation leaking
Not
from their
O'Brien's
fusion
voice,
core.
by the way.
Suggestions.
If we can get transport enhancers onto the survivors, we can use them to cut through the interference. We could only beam one person at a time.
Meany and Avery Brooks are like, nope.
Dax, how many life signs aboard the Kiel Tool?
I can't get a clear reading through all the tachyon
That's
interference.
Dax's voice, though.
Chief, I'm going over there. Have Ensign Bailey meet me in the shuttle bay with a pack of transport enhancers. Anybody we can't beam out, I'll bring back the old-fashioned way.
Aye, sir.
Cisco to Bashir. Prepare to receive casualties.
Acknowledged.
Mr. Worf, you have the con.
I guess you could see who liked, you know, getting the paychecks. When did this come out? I think like 1998 or 9. It looks good for its time. This was 2000? Okay. Well, Deep Space Nine ended in 1999, if I'm not mistaken. Or 2000.
Morph to Captain Cisco. An alien ship has decloaked and engaged us. Their torpedoes have penetrated our shields. We have sustained multiple hull breaches. Containment fields are holding. The torpedoes appear to have caused minimal structural damage, but weapons and propulsion are offline. They may be deploying some form of electromagnetic weaponry. Sir, Chief O'Brien was injured during the initial assault. He is conscious, but immobile. The Chief will instruct me as I attempt to manually restore the damaged systems.
Acknowledged. Fortify the bridge and engineering in case the Defiant gets boarded.
I want to shoot. Do I get to shoot?
Out.
How does... What is this game? I don't even know how you play this game. Like, is it first person? Is it third person? Guess we'll find out. No, we won't. Now we will. Oh god, it's third person. And oh god, does Worf move fast. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh no. Oh god, is it confusing. Well, you get some good weaponry. Look, a batleth. Mr. Worf is gonna destroy the force field with his batleth. Yeah, puncture noises in a metal spaceship. Is there a fucking flash? Why is this ship so dark? I know. Oh, it was injured. Ship injured, I guess. Of course. It'd have to be this. It would have to be this. I mean, to be fair, I was looking for something to shoot, so I feel good about that. I don't feel so good about these controls.
Worf, we've lost lighting in certain sections. You may need to use your wrist beacon.
Acknowledged. Warp
Oh my god. Oh, it's so crusty. It's so crusty. How do you use your wrist beacon? Chat, does anyone know how to use your wrist beacon? A warrior's death. This camera does not work for these tight corridors. First person would be so much better. Maybe there's a way to do that. Oh god. Just reset you back then. Oh, okay, so this is Worf crouching like a crab. Like the Klingon crab warrior that he is. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the value of this game has already been demonstrated.
Lighting in certain sections. You may need to use your wrist beacon.
Acknowledged.
Kita! Hell yeah, thing exploded. I have a good follow-up to this game after this. Kill. ASMR Klingon. I don't know how to reload my gun or find more ammo. I don't know what I'm doing. I just know that this game is extremely unlikable. I'm just gonna press every button. Sounds like Half-Life footsteps, at least. Yeah, I don't know, chat. I don't think there's much more I can show you. I kinda don't like this. It's very crusty.
Specify.
I'm gonna play as Captain Sisko for a second and see what happens.
Captain's log, stardate 51957.1. We've received a garbled distress call from the Bajoran science vessel KL-2.
Oh yeah, so you play from a different perspective. It's so dark. At least the fucking phaser recharges.
Cisco to device. An unknown hostile force is armed with the Bajoran vessel. Their ship is probably close by, close from our sensors. Go to red alert.
The back of your helmet looks like what? A frog? A lizard? Because it does. Good enough. Okay, so let me show you the sequel to this game, or maybe, you know what? Let me show you the prequel to this game. It's a shame to see, like, good properties, good movies, like The Abyss, and a good show like Deep Space Nine get shitty games, but, you know, I have, a TNG thing I can show you real quick. This is not retro, this is new. So. So it's Worf avoiding hollow blue barrels. You remember that episode? Spine crushed? look at the spine health. I'm so happy someone made this. Uh-oh. That injury sound effect sounds like Zelda 2 in Castlevania. Oh, I can't destroy that one. Only the blue, hollow, you know, plastic ones can be destroyed. You know, the same ones that destroy Worf's spine. Those. I just want to see what happens when you game over. If possible. Is that it then? Oh no, there's one more. Any minute now it'll happen. Very generous with the lives and health in this game. Today is a good day to die. Rip Worf. Okay, one more. I have one more thing here to show you. Sphinx, what the fuck is this? Is this a screensaver? That was a screensaver. that was all that was. So, there's a Star Trek game show trivia show, which we won't do too much of, but John Delancey, who just doesn't say no to anything. I think the running theme of all of my Sunday streams is how many projects will John Delancey say yes to?
The final frontier. For centuries, the United Federation of Planets has explored the farthest reaches of the galaxy, seeking out strange new worlds.
Oh, will you give it a rest? You know, he makes it sound like your quest for knowledge is significant. To you, maybe, but to me, sticking your starships into other species' business is merely a quick exercise in frivolity. But you know what? That's what I love about your species. Your ability, your desire to dwell on all matters trivial is the best thing that ever happened to me. Besides me, of course. You see, as long as you people stay out of trouble, and I'm talking about real trouble, not your cute little twubble with twiddles, then I can dedicate some quality time to someone worthy
say Twitter?
of my undivided attention.
He knew.
And I can't spend all that time with myself if I have to constantly clean up after your quests for knowledge. Remember, I have the fun. You suffer the consequences.
Shut up, Q.
That brings me as to why you're here. I've devised a devious little diversion and modeled...
All right.
Right you are, your omnipotence. Okay, contestants, how many of you will be playing today? Type 1, 2, or 3.
1. I'm gonna be a Vulcan because they are smart.
Now click on the species you... Now, type in your name.
Skok.
Oh, a Vulcan. You'll be the absolute life of the party.
Good job. Your buzzer is the B key. To quit the game at any time, hit the escape key.
Good. Hit the B key.
And now...
And now what? What?
The category is
Medical for 400 points.
Beverly Crusher did her medical internship on planet Delos 4. What is the name of her mentor under whom she did her internship? A. Frank.
Maybe you should try sports.
It's D. Dalen Quace. I know D. Dalen Quace. It's a good episode. I know that.
Quace.
What happened?
The category is captain for 300 points.
The
The
fuck?
Sicarians have a technology that can potentially get the Voyager home, but Janeway won't violate their laws to obtain the device. Who violates her orders to bring the device
I haven't
on board?
watched a lot of
A.
Voyager.
Chakotay. B. Paris. C. Kim. D.
I know. It's D.
You don't get out much, do you?
I didn't even...
D. Tuvok.
Fuck. So you gotta press
The
B to buzz
category
in,
is
then you click it. All right,
engineering
I think I
for
got it.
200 points. Geordi develops a strong attraction to a member
I know
of
her
the
name.
Enterprise D design team
It
when
is-
he creates her image on the holodeck. What is the name of this Starfleet
I know
designer?
her. I know
A.
her name.
Lieutenant Grace.
Leah Brahms.
Oh, it's B.
Please, don't shout out the answer.
How do I
You might
answer?
wake up the contestants.
The answer is B.
How do I
Dr.
play
Leah
this
Brahms.
game?
The category is Helm Sciences.
It might be
for
running all
400
fucked up.
points. On the ISS Enterprise in the parallel mirror universe, Lieutenant Sulu tries to kill Captain Kirk. What is Sulu's position on the ISS Enterprise?
Don't
A.
buzz, just
Chief
type the
Helmsman.
letter. Okay.
B. Chief Weapons Officer. C. Chief Tactical Officer.
Musculature.
D. Chief of Security.
I don't know.
E. Chief Intelligence Officer.
I've seen Klingons who could grunt more intelligent answers.
I
The
pressed.
answer is
You don't
B.
just press the letter.
Chief of Security.
The category is Helm Sciences for 300 points.
After Worf's promotion to Lieutenant Commander, Data chooses to install and activate his emotion chip.
10 forward.
After this is done, where is the first place he goes to? A. Engineering. B. 10 forward. Hallelujah.
I got it.
The answer is indeed
B.
I did it. You
10
probably pressed
forward.
B, and then I pressed B again.
Oh, goody! A red alert question. This is a little game I like to call Memories in Motion. Watch the clip on the view screen. That's all I'm going to tell you.
I can't go with you, Zephyr.
Of course you can't. You have to.
My life emanates from this place. If I should leave it more than a tiny mark of days, I'll cease to exist.
Player 1, this question is for you. For 500 points, what was the crewman's first name? A. Ephraim. B.
Zephyr.
Hallelujah.
The answer is, indeed, D. Zephram.
Built-in anti-DMCA measurements. Measures. Measurements? Measures.
The category is miscellany. For 200 points,
Miss Celery?
Quark and Rom's father was named Keldar. Their mother now lives alone on Ferenginar. What name do Quark and Rom call their mother? A. Maskey. B. Nama.
Let's hear it for blind luck.
The answer is, indeed, C. Moogie.
I'm getting too many of these right, I think.
The category is First Officer. For 600 points, Kira is kidnapped by the Obsidian Order, transformed to look like a Cardassian, and told that she is really a spy and the daughter of a high-ranking Cardassian.
Fuck, I don't know this one.
Of this Cardassian? A. Gamor. B. Madrid.
Nope.
C. Rugal.
Kim.
D. Intek. E. Zolon.
You give sentience a bad name.
The answer is
Fuck.
A. Gamor.
All right.
The results from Alpha Quadrant seem a bit lopsided.
Alpha Quadrant.
I may have to redistribute some gray matter.
Oh, but what are you going to do about the contestants?
Q, dear love of someone else's life, behave. Let's move into the beta quadrant, shall we?
I'm going to play this another 5 minutes. Maybe. 5 more minutes.
Welcome to the beta quadrant. Creepy, isn't it? You see, the universe, my universe, isn't just pretty star fields and picturesque nebulae. There's nastiness to the left of you, and brutality to the right of you. You could say I have a knack for chaos.
Yeah, a knack. And you have such a dark side. It is so intimidating. Whatever will you inflict on the universe next?
Hugh, as I've said, you can leave when I say so. And speaking of me, there are plenty of other warm, wonderful, cuddly encounters in the universe. Let's see what's out there.
Hey, Tribbles.
Exploiting to the fullest my extra dimensionality, I will push these buttons one by one. Each button reveals a clue and makes the picture in the static-filled view screen a little clearer. Based on the clues, the view screen, and the category shown above, your job is to identify the encounter. When you know the answer, hit your buzzer, type in the name, and hit enter.
Type in the name? Oh, fuck.
She means if you know the answer. And when you get it wrong, my dear Q will push the next button, and I will kindly grant another clue for the same encounter.
Kinder, gentler Q. Somebody pinch me.
Somebody
If your answer
pinch
is
what?
correct, then you get the points displayed.
Enough hand-holding already. Let's go.
The category is Alien Individual. Clue number 1. She sought a trilithium weapon. Clue number 2. She saw through Geordie's visor.
Oh, Darwin wept.
Oh, it's the alien from the movie, the next gen movie, the Duras sisters.
Player 1. Let's see what you're made of.
Nope.
Clue number 3.
No!
She learned how to penetrate the Enterprise's shields.
That was so quick. That like had comedic timing.
Player 1. I'm waiting.
Clue number 4. She hoped to overthrow the
Player 1. Type away.
Thanks, Sphinx. Lursa?
I'm nearly impressed.
The answer is, indeed, Lursa. The category is Alien Species. Clue number 1. Their ancestors let technology get out of control until the Reformation.
Player 1. Oh, this ought to be good.
Clue number 2. Janeway...
Player 1. Give it your best shot.
Nope.
Clue number 3. Their first prelate's name was Alcea.
Nope.
Clue number 4. Tuvok crashed
Oh,
with
Janeway. This is
a
a different quadrant
Did somebody
entirely.
set the questions on stun?
I don't know the answer. Sphinx knows it.
Player 1. What's your answer?
Are they peeking at the
Unbelievable.
The answer is, indeed, the Drans.
The category is Alien Individual.
I like the multiple
Clue number
choice
1.
questions a lot better.
Dax once told Kira she thought this man was cute.
What?
Clue number 2. Dax rescued Bashir from a very long conversation with this man.
Player 1. This I gotta see.
Fuck.
Clue number 3.
Player 1. Let's see what you're made of.
Morn.
Going too easy on them.
This dude does not
The
stop
answer is
talking.
indeed
Every episode.
The category is Anomaly. Clue number 1. One was found near Norpin 5.
Nope. No idea.
Clue number 2. It measured 200 million kilometers in diameter.
Why don't you demo the buzzers for them?
Clue number 3. The Enterprise was drawn...
Got it.
Player 1.
I'm waiting.
I remember this episode. The fuck?
Miracles.
It's it's called Relics is the episode. The Enterprise met Scotty.
Indeed,
Scotty was on board.
sphere.
Scotty doesn't know.
The category is alien species. Clue number 1. They are a violent people.
Player 1. Type away.
I'm just gonna take a guess. Fuck.
Clue number 2. They
Player
Got
1. Oh, this ought to be good. That was an easy one.
I saw the blue and the
answer
little
is
things there, the
indeed
Shrek ears.
Andorians.
The category is alien species.
Clue number 1. Picard once said that this group found their past associates tasty.
It could be Ferengi.
Clue number 2.
Yep. I saw the ears kind of.
Give it your best shot.
Hallelujah.
The answer is indeed...
We start with aliens, we
Ferengi.
end with aliens. Perfect. Even if these are fake aliens.
Dear, oh dear. We seem to have a bit of a mismatch.
Dear, oh dear,
well.
dear.
It was a noble experiment, pitting the sentient against the non-sentient. Still, I had higher hopes.
I have a high hope, Q.
If it's about you and me taking a field trip back to the Big Bang, sorry. You're no Madam Janeway. Let's move into the Gamma Quadrant, shall we?
Just a couple more questions. Just a couple more, chat. Oh my gosh. Crust music.
Ah, isn't the Gamma Quadrant pleasant? What a contrast to that scary, foreboding place we just left. Am I right? Nothing bad ever happens here.
I hope we got paid well for this.
Sirree. And if you believe that, I have a nice bridge to sell you.
Bridge. I get it.
Yes, well, not often enough. Oh, the bridge. The command center, where most of the tough decisions are made. Bluffs, face-offs, duels, sacrifices.
Q
you
doesn't
name
give a
it.
single fuck.
A mission without trouble is like
Q
a
is
day without
a
me.
trickster.
Dreadfully unexciting.
I'm willing to test that comparison right now.
Right now. Oh, yes. Right now.
Yeah, Loki,
That's
basically.
the key to every command decision. He or she who hesitates is...
Is what? Kinda what?
For 500 points...
The Voyager crew makes contact with a ship in the Alpha Quadrant through a wormhole which is too small to travel through. To what race does this Alpha Quadrant ship belong? A. Vulcan. B. Andorian. C. Romulan. D. Klingon.
If you had another neuron, you'd have a synapse.
What?
The answer is...
C. Romulan.
Didn't even get a chance.
For 800 points.
I know
Most
so little
Kazon
of Voyager.
factions have, at one time or another, attempted to destroy Voyager and or capture its technology. Which of the following is not the name of a Kazon sect?
I have no idea.
The Mistral. B. The Razik.
He's brain dead, Jim.
All right. Well, I've
The
just had
answer
John
is
Delancey, Q, call me brain
B,
dead,
the
so that
Razik.
confirms it. Everyone in chat's suspicions were correct.
For 500 points. Shortly before the Borg attack at Wolf 359, Commander Riker is given his third offer of a command, which he proceeds to turn down. What vessel does Starfleet offer him? A. The USS Melbourne. B.
I think I should just give you a coloring book and crayons and send you off to a quiet corner somewhere.
Fuck, I didn't know this. It was the
answer
Melbourne.
is A. The USS Melbourne.
Maybe I don't know what I'm doing.
For 500 points. When the alien probe enters Federation space, a Federation starship detects it and is promptly drained of all power. What is the name of this ship? A. The USS Miranda.
The Yorktown.
B.
Until that answer, you closely resembled an intelligent form of life.
Fuck!
The answer is D. The USS Saratoga.
I gotta watch the whole fucking series of every show again?
For 400 points.
When Keiko O'Brien begins teaching Bajoran children about the wormhole, she touches off a religious conflict. Who suggests teaching Bajorans and non-Bajorans in separate schools?
Oof.
A. Kira. B.
Must you disappoint me so publicly?
God damn it!
The answer is
God!
Kira.
Ross got it.
600 points. Kirk, Spock, and McCoy help to put down a Klingon-sponsored coup on Capella 4
I'm a fake fan.
and help the High Tier's widow deliver her baby son. What name does she give to this baby High Tier? A. James Spock Akar.
I don't know anymore. I don't know.
Akar Kirk. C. Ma'ab Spock.
Don't know.
D.
Let's hear it for blind luck.
Wow,
The
he was
answer
right.
Is indeed
Q was 100%
D.
correct. That was just a
Leonard
random
James
choice.
Akar.
I don't want to mention any names, but I think someone is suffering from a case of point envy.
It takes inadequacy to recognize it as in others, I suppose.
That's right, Q. Now, do you finally understand why I chose you? Delta Quadrant
shit.
is waiting. Let's go.
It's just burns after burns. It just boo-earns.
Oh, goody. This is one of my favorites. See the Borg? With any luck, you're going to make them human again. All you have to do is solve the mystery word. Guess a letter, remove an implant.
Okay.
You get points, he gets his life back. It's beautiful.
Vinny, have you ever watched Star
player
Trek?
gets to
Yes,
guess
I
one
swear.
letter per turn. To solve the word, wait till it's your turn. Hit the space bar instead of a key letter and type the answer. Here we go. There is an F. There is an A.
Okay. Oh.
There is an S. There is a T.
Oh!
There is an R. There is an E.
There is many E.
There is an L.
Like, look at the Borg.
There is a C. There is a D.
Lose them shorts.
There is an M. There is a Y. Hallelujah.
That is a really weird thing
Starfleet
that we
Academy.
just witnessed.
Well, not quite as entertaining as I had hoped. Still, you aren't totally hopeless. Bone up a bit and come back when you're ready to take the game more seriously.
Am I bad?
Congratulations, player one.
Oh,
You have a
Sphinx!
high score.
Son! Look at these names. Kurt Klingon. Cal Cardassian. Yeah, you know, ah, jeez. Well, that was fun. That's all I got for you for this segment. If you didn't like Star Trek, that's probably not your favorite bit that you've ever seen. Before we do AI Dungeon, I'm going to close the stream with AI Dungeon so we can just go for as long as needed. I want to show you Mealmates before I take a break, but I just want to say I enjoyed this collection. There's some interesting UFO facts, and I feel like I know so much more about aliens, real and fake, at this moment in time. Namaste.